Hi, welcome. Today we are going to study the point perfect gas equilibria. For that, we have to consider a reversible gaseous reaction. Suppose A in the gaseous form gives us B in the gaseous form, and this reaction is a reversible reaction where that A and B are the perfect or the ideal gases. Now we know that delta G is equal to Gb minus Ga. So in this case that delta G, it is the change in Gibbs free energy or simply change in free energy, is equal to Gb. Gb is the Gibbs free energy of gas B and Ga is the Gibbs free energy of gas A. So we know that delta G is equal to Gb minus Ga. Now why this is? Because we know that Gibbs free energy is a state function, therefore we can take difference between them. Okay, now we have to remember these two equations. First equation is Ga is equal to Ga0 plus RT ln of Pa, and for gas B, Gb is equal to Gb0 plus RT ln of Pb. Okay, where that Ga0 and Gb0 are the standard molar free energy. So we know that whenever there comes that 0, it means standard. So Ga0 and Gb0 are the standard molar free energies of pure gases A and B respectively. So here we have to remember these two equations for Ga and Gb. Now we have to put these two values in this equation, that is delta G is equal to Gb minus Ga, so that delta G will become, see, delta G is equal to Gb0 plus RT ln of Pb minus Ga0 plus RT ln of Pa. So we have just putted the values for Gb and Ga. Now here that Pa and Pb are the partial pressures of gas A and B in a reaction mixture. Okay, now we have to simplify these brackets. So delta G is equal to, if we take that Gb0 minus Ga0 together into one bracket, okay, then plus RT ln of Pb will remain as it is, and that RT ln Pa will get the minus sign. So minus RT ln of Pa. So what we get? Delta G is equal to, in bracket, first Gb0 minus Ga0 plus RT ln of Pb minus RT ln of Pa. Okay, so further simplifying we will get delta G is equal to, for Gb0 minus Ga0 we can write delta G0, okay, plus RT ln of Pb upon Pa. So as there is a negative sign or minus in between ln Pb and ln Pa, it will become ln Pb upon Pa. So finally we get delta G is equal to delta G0 plus RT ln of Q. So what is Q now? Q is equal to Pb upon Pa. So we have just putted the Q, capital Q, for Pb upon Pa. Now that Q is called as the reaction quotient. So what is reaction quotient? That Q is equal to Pb upon Pa. Now see, for the general reaction, suppose if you consider a reaction A plus B gives us C plus D. We have discussed this reaction in a previous lectures many times. So for this reaction, the reaction quotient is given by Q is equal to C raised to C into D raised to D upon A raised to A into B raised to B. So when we have discussed it, then at that time we have said that value is equal to K, and that K was the equilibrium constant. But here now we are saying that it is Q. Okay, so for that reaction, as we have written the value of K, Q is also same. The reaction quotient Q is C raised to C into D raised to D upon A raised to A into B raised to B. So see here, important, the reaction quotient Q has the same form as equilibrium constant. So equilibrium constant, which we have denoted by K. So what I have said, the reaction quotient Q has the same form as the equilibrium constant, but it values that are not necessarily equilibrium values. Okay, so when we write equilibrium constant, then it has equilibrium value, but the value of Q that are not necessarily equilibrium values. So this is the difference between that value of Q and K. Now, if the values of reactant and products are equilibrium values, then Q will become K. Whenever there is equilibrium, so Q will become equal to the K. And the concept of reaction quotient is very useful to us. Now, why it is useful? See, we can compare the magnitude of Q with K for a reaction under given conditions, and it is possible to decide whether the forward or reverse reaction is favored to establish the equilibrium. So, by comparing the value of Q and K, we can decide whether our reaction will be forward reaction or the backward reaction to establish the equilibrium. So from that we can say that Q can be a measure of the progress of the reaction. What we can say, Q can be a measure of the progress of the reaction, whether that reaction will go in the forward direction or in the backward direction. To establish the equilibrium, we can predict it from the value of Q. Now how? See, there are three important conditions. First condition is when that Q is less than K. That is, the value of reaction quotient is less than equilibrium constant. So when Q is less than K, the forward reaction must occur. So we have seen in earlier slide that A gas gives us B gas. Okay, so when we go from A to B, it is a forward reaction. Okay, now when Q is less than K, that is equilibrium constant have higher value than the reaction quotient, at that time forward reaction must occur, that is A will give us B to a greater extent than the reverse reaction to establish equilibrium. Okay, this is first condition. Second condition is Q is greater than K, that is reaction quotient have more value than the equilibrium constant, then the reverse reaction must occur, that is B will give A. So A gives B, it is a forward reaction, and when B gives A, it is a reverse reaction, and that reverse reaction is favorable when Q is greater than K, that is reaction quotient is greater than equilibrium constant. The reverse reaction must occur to a greater extent for equilibrium to be reached. And what happens when Q is equal to K? So when Q is equal to K, the system is at equilibrium and no net reaction occurs. Okay, so these three are the conditions. So from the values of Q and K, we can say about the reaction, whether it will go in the forward direction or in the backward reaction. So this is the importance of reaction quotient and the equilibrium constant. So this is about the perfect gas equilibrium. So what we have studied in this lecture, see, we have derived an equation delta G is equal to delta G0 plus RT ln of Q. So here we have introduced a new term, that is Q, which is reaction quotient, which is equal to PB upon PA. Then we have seen we have compared the value of Q and K. What is the importance of value of Q and value of K to determine the favorability of a reaction? So that point which we also discussed. Okay, so this is all about the perfect gas equilibria. Thank you.